Hey Power Players, it's your girl Celente T here with your power tips for the week. Life coach and resiliency expert. I was diagnosed at 3 months with the chronic illness sickle cell, if you do not know. So I'm here to shed some light and, like I said, share some power tips this week on the fact that nobody's coming to your rescue. And I reposted something this morning which said, "Being a human is hard for me right now." And it resonated so much that I had to share that because it really is hard for me right now. So let's get into it.
Welcome, Power Players. It's your girl, Celente T, and I'm here to help guide you on your pursuit of happiness with these power tips. Make sure you hit that like button if something resonates with you. Hit the subscribe button so you can get these power tips weekly. And make sure to comment because I want to hear how you're making it happen.
So as you know, I have a chronic illness, sickle cell, and I also have a toddler, 2-year-old toddler. Now, I have been vocal about my breastfeeding journey with her. I'm a single parent, so I did not set myself up correctly to have a family and to raise this child. I'm a single parent, so certain things can be a struggle because I want to manage my illness so I don't get sick and I'm not torn or separated from her. But I also need to self-care and I need to be a great parent to her. So that asks a lot of me at times. And I don't ever like to use my illness as an excuse. I never did when I was growing up, so I continued that as I was an adult. But there's one thing that we as chronic illness warriors need to know and recognize is that some things are just facts. Some things you just cannot get around, right? So recently I've tried to sleep train my daughter to get her to sleep in her own bed. So that was about 2 weeks ago, and after 2 nights of that, because the process is you have to put her in her own bed. She's gonna wake up, come over to my bed. Then you have to get up, go put her back in her bed, and that may require you to lay down with her for a little bit until she falls asleep, get back in your bed, you fall asleep, a couple hours later, she's up again, and repeat that cycle, right? And that doesn't just happen for one night, that happens for a good amount of nights. I don't really know what the end result is because I had to call that quits. After 2 nights of doing that, I was shot. I literally felt like I was gonna die. Like I was so sleep deprived, and I really couldn't express that well enough to other people, to my tribe, to those closest to me. I did say that I need help, but they're not gonna understand the point or the extreme in which I felt tired, right? Because they're not in my body, they don't get it. They've been sleep deprived before, and it wasn't that bad. Oh no, I had to go and Google and start doing some research, right? And one article says that these sleep disturbances are thought to ultimately cause more severe pain the following day for people with, this is specific to people with sickle cell anemia. So more severe pain the following day. So basically your body just starts to shut down because you already have a lack of oxygen, and the less sleep you get, the less your body is to regulate your blood throughout your body, carry that oxygen. So if you don't have oxygen getting to all your organs, then it kind of just slows down, becomes lethargic. We've all been sleep deprived at some point, right? But for me, it's just extremely worse. So that was horrible. That was horrible. So I did not follow through with that, right? And my daughter is still breastfeeding, so I'm trying to wean her off the boot. I've been trying to do that for a year, and I understand why parents let their child breastfeed up until 5 years, because trying to get her off now is such a struggle. So last night I committed, and I took out the night feedings. So we had a morning feeding this morning and a feeding just before bed. Cool, I can work with that. I'm just trying to take out the night feeding so I can start getting some sleep, so I can be more productive during the day, because a lack of sleep leads to, a lack of productivity. So last night, how did it go? It went pretty well. I talked with her. I was like, we're going to get through this. I don't know if I was talking to her, trying to convince her or myself, right? But I'm like, we're going to get through this. Just you and I. We got this. Don't worry. Um, she put up a fight at first, of course, but the last 2 weeks, it wasn't as bad. So we're hoping for just as good of a night tonight. Pray for me, y'all. Um, but at the end of the day, I realized after expressing the fact that I need help, that it's hard for me, and it almost brings me to tears to just trying to describe how hard it is for me, right? But because I don't want to use my illness as an excuse, I tend to not be able to express myself fully to the people around me. So I don't completely blame them. It is what it is. But it's super hard, and that's what I mean. And about it being hard to be a person right now. So I'm trying to do this with my daughter by myself. I'm trying to work on the business, work my full-time job, be a great person in general. And it's just super hard for me to manage all of that. So my mother always told me to be self-sufficient. So I encourage people with chronic illnesses to find ways in their life to do it alone. It may take longer for you. It may not look the way it looks for other people. So you have to learn, you have to adapt to what's best for you. And I've learned that over the years. Like, I don't really care anymore how people say it's supposed to be. I know how I can manage it. Like, what is going to work for me to get to the end goal. If it doesn't look like what it looks like for other people, that's not a bother to me. As long as I get to where I'm trying to go at this point, right? So set your life up in a way that you can be self-sufficient. Nobody's coming to save you. As much as they love you, they don't know everything. And at the end of the day, the goal is to always be a self-sufficient person, even if you have a chronic illness, as much as possible anyway, right? Because some disabilities or some things may leave you dependent on others, and that's fine. But where you can find space to be self-sufficient, to, organize your things to be closer to you so that you don't have to keep getting up, because getting up causes you pain, right? Bring it closer to you, whether it's bring that dresser close to you, whether it's arranging your room in a certain way, whether it's laying out your schedule for the next day or the week, for you to be able to tackle it and manage it. Do what you have to do. So with my daughter, I am going to have another night like I had last night. I'm not going to put so much pressure on myself this time. I'm just going to do my best, right? And that's it at the end of the day. Do my best, and if I fail, then I'll try again in another couple weeks or whatever it is. But at this point, I really need my rest. Like, I'm almost coming to tears about it. But I will pray about it, and I'm definitely hopeful and optimistic. And I'm thankful that my daughter is who she is, whether it be stubborn, whether it be patient at times. She's who she is, and I can't change that. And she's just a little wee baby, right? So I can't expect her to fall in line with what mommy needs at this point. So I need to extend grace to her, and in turn, extend grace to myself, right? So don't ever forget to extend grace to yourself. As long as you're trying, then that's all that matters. And you will make it in the end to where you have to be. So feel encouraged, and I love you, my community, and I'll talk to you soon.